Good evening, everyone. It's Diane, and I just wanted to share with you what my next project will be. I'm going to say I'm excited about this one. I'm still going to say it, but I say that for every journal that I start. But I am excited about this. It is two journals with a music theme. And as you may know, I love music. I am a musician, and I've collected some of this stuff for a long time. So I'm excited to be able to use the theme of music, but also to use some of these items that I've been hoarding for so long. I'm inspired by Mrs. Cog's two of her digital kits, The Sounds of Music, and I've had this for well over a year, I think, and the piano. 4 pages in each of these kits. So I have these printed and ready for me to cut out. You can see I've already started on that. And then the paper pads. Oh, I was going to have those handy. This one by DCWV is the Performance Stack. And I have had this, I don't even know how long. It was one of the first papers that I bought when I first started doing Smashbooks. And I have used pages out of it. I put them in Smashbooks, but I've been hoarding the rest of them to make a music themed book. It's dated here 2011. So I've had this for a long time. I don't know if I bought it in 2011, but not too far from it. So it's got some beautiful, beautiful papers. I'll go through some of those. And then the other paper that I'm using, I thought I had the cover sheet right here, but it's by, here it is, it's Stamperia Music. And it's beautiful. I love Stamperia's collaged images, and I love the Renaissance feel of the papers. I love the colors. So I'm excited. One book will have these papers, and the other book will have the DCWV papers. And they're both going to be beautiful. So just let me show you an example of some of the papers. These are the DCWV Performance Stack, and they are white. So I'm going to have to do some stenciling on the backs. But this one has a violin and this quote and this beautiful background. I love this one. This one says percussion. It has a drum. There's some foiling on some of these papers. And there's a definition of percussion there. This is just a beautifully decorated page. And brass. And there's another of the violin. And this one with a big violin and some music. There's a quote by Frederick Chopin up there. And this stack came with some vellum. So each book is going to have 2 sheets of music vellum with gold foiling. Isn't that gorgeous? There's this one and this one I love. The other book has something a little bit different. I'm also going to put in some of my straw paper from Rachel at Roxy Creations. I have some of that. I have, of course, some music out of old music books. This is from a very, very old organ music book, and I love that it's landscape. So I have some of that. I have other music also. There are a lot of cut-aparts in the DCWV stack, so I'm planning on figuring out some embellishments to make with some of these. Again, there's definitions and some gold foiling and some scripted quotes. Just beautiful pieces. Quite a few. There were 2 sheets of that, and I had used some of them in other journals. And then this is the Stamperia paper. Actually, I don't know if this isn't one of the Stamperia. This came out of a different paper pad that I had that just happened to have music on it. The Stamperia has fewer papers in it than did the DCWV, so I had to add a few other papers to give them the same quantity. I wanted this book to be quite large, mainly because of this image. I did not want to cut her off. I did end up cutting a tiny bit of her foot off, and then the top part of her harp. But I'll show you the book covers that I chose, but I love this one. And look at the back. That's just too gorgeous. And this one has some opera titles here. Look at the spines of those little books there. I think they must be, what do you call it? They're from the operas. And this one has a piano. Look at the keyboards. There's just so much detail on these pages. I didn't show you the background of this one. I thought I had some music score sheet, and I couldn't find it, so I must have used it all. I love this violin with all the decoupaged designs on it. Look at that. So pretty. So much detail. And I've had this paper for over a year. So we've got some old sheet music here and just some really pretty Baroque looking designs. I think this is one we already saw. I didn't know there were two of that. I didn't think there were duplicates of any of them. No, I guess not. It's just, it reminded me of this, I guess. More music on the back. This is one of the extra papers that I added in. I thought the colors went very well. And it's white on the back. And then here are the vellum pieces that came from the DCWV piece. And then this one is the same as in the other book. Another Stamperia paper with a harp. And then this is one of the extra papers I added. It's shorter, shorter than the other pages, but it had this design up here, and I would have cut it off part way. And I wanted to preserve that design to use for something else. And besides, I like to have pages of different sizes in the books. And then the Stamperia paper also has some cut apart. So there's some tags, there's an envelope, some journaling cards, some really nice cards. So the cut apart pieces may be shared with both books, because I have cut aparts from both books, but I might use both in both books. You know what I'm saying? What else do I have for these books? Well, I have book covers. I had these all sorted into two book piles, so I hope I can get them sorted back again. All right, so this is the larger book cover for the Stamperia paper. This was a book on how to choose Oriental rugs, and this was an expensive book, I think. I bought it, I don't know how much. It was at a flea market, and I didn't pay a lot for it. But this is a really nice fabric on the front, and this beautiful gold. And I'm going to have to cover part of that up, but I'm going to try to cover not much of it up. It's just so pretty. And even the end papers are like a handmade paper. I'm not sure if I'll cover them or not. It depends on how they look with the book when I have it done. Then I took one of the Mrs. Coggs images and sewed it to a piece of my gold candy wrapper paper that somebody sent me. And that will be glued there. And then this is a quote. I don't know if somebody sent this to me. I had several quotes that came off of a piece of scrapbook paper. And I just had them in my collection of music pieces to be used in music journals. But this one is called Melody of Life. And I thought that was a perfect title. So that will go up there. And this book is 7 by just over 10 and a quarter. So it's a nice tall book. The other book is going to be this beautiful burgundy color, deep burgundy, one of my favorite colors. And I chose this image. I thought the colors of this went really well with that burgundy, and it's a beautiful lady playing the piano. They both have a beautiful lady playing the piano. And this is one of the cut apart, well, it actually came off of one of the scraps that I cut off the DCWV paper, so I might put that down there. It's just a little embellishment, and this will definitely be covered on the inside. I also have I had some vintage music magazines, and I had cut all of these advertising pieces out of those magazines, and I saved them with my music collections. Speaking of music collections, let me just tell you what I do. I have these large plastic envelopes, which I think I got at Michael's on clearance. I bought them, several times when they were on clearance. I would buy more, but they do crack and break after a while. You might be able to find something on Amazon, but these hold 12 by 12 papers. I labeled it music. This label is coming off. But I have a whole bunch of these, and as I find something that will go with one of the themes that I want to do, such as the cowboy, the farm, what else do I have? The music. Oh, I've got a whole bunch. I just can't think. A Holly Hobby. So I've got a lot of these envelopes that every time I find something, I just kind of create a little pile, and then when I have a chance, I'll go in and sort the pile and put them into their envelopes. That way, when I go to do the journal for that theme, I won't forget things like this. If I had put these with my vintage magazine cutouts, I would not have thought to go look for these, because I would have forgotten all about them. I did forget all about them until I got out my little plastic packet and found them. So these are some really wonderful vintage magazine ads about music. Look at that little girl. This is from the Etude magazine. So these are great. I have quite a few of them. I have so much music stuff that I'm sure I'm going to have to keep my magazine or my music envelope so that I can make more music journals in the future. This is a little music flashcard that someone sent to me, I believe. It's 1952. I like the size of that. Oh, I got several. So those will be fun. Also, as I went through books, I've got more. Yay. If I find an image like this, children's dictionaries are great for things like this. I'll cut them out and add them into different envelopes for different themes. So I have that one. I have this book plate, Music Without Music, Life Would Be a Mistake. And it's for a music book. You would put it in the front of your book and put your name on it, so it would get returned to you. These came off of a piece of old scrapbook paper from Stampin' Up. This is an ad for metronomes. And I think somebody sent this to me, and it is so cool. It is vintage, and a piano teacher, I suppose, would use it, or a music teacher. They are award seals, and each seal represents a different composer. So there's Schubert, or maybe this whole book is Schubert. Yeah, so it must be there were different books that would have different composers on them, but this whole book is little stickers of Schubert. I have these plastic treble clefs that I think somebody must have sent them to me. So I'll use them maybe somewhere. I've got some larger pieces from the vintage magazines. I have this that I got from a vintage game at a flea market. It's called Notability. That was the name of the game. It's the Name the Song game, and I just wanted it for this. Actually, my friend who was with me bought it because she wanted to play the game, but she gave me the papers. But I think she said the game didn't work. This is from the Masterpiece game, but it's a beautiful art piece of a lady playing the piano. And in my bottom drawer here, I've got bigger pieces from the vintage magazines and a card of a Renoir painting. So I said I'm using straw paper. I have these really great pages from 2 different music books about music. I think this one might have been Music in Art. Actually, it looks like there's 3 different books. Or Music in Art or something like that. Or else, I don't know, it's about instruments. Look at that. Oh, so these are really cool. It does have old-time instruments and art that features music. So I don't really remember what the theme of this book was, but it is great. So I pulled some of those pages. There's some more here. And here's this other book about music. Smaller pages, but still big enough. So I pulled some of those pages. There's a Picasso of a guy playing a guitar. I also pulled some pages from this Italian notebook that I got from Rachel. I had gotten one of her packages of Italian papers. And this is not, these decorations are not on the pages, but I just pulled out these pages because they're lined, and I can put them in this way, and you can write the right way. You don't have to turn them this way. And it's Italian paper, so I thought that was cool. And I think, oh, and I'll have some coffee dye paper. That might just about do it as far as papers and things. I have these flashcards, music flashcards, which I can do something with. And then I have my collection of stamps, rubber stamps for music. I destashed a lot of my music stamps, but this is what I have left. I have Beethoven. I have Mozart in here somewhere too. There's a violin. There's a grand piano. This one has a lot of composers' names on it. This is from Stampington and Company. There's another piano from Stampin' Up. Another piano. Piano keyboard. A lyre. Some music. This set is from Stampin' Up. Well, some of them, I added some more stamps in this little box, but there's Beethoven again, and there's some more composers. There's a treble clef, you know, there's lots. And there's Mozart. And a French horn. So, I think I have more than enough to work with to make 2 journals. So, hopefully, sometime in the future, I'll make more music journals. But for now, this is what I'm working with, and I got so excited as I went through what I had and started sorting and started cutting the papers, and yeah, I'm pretty happy about it. One of those books that I showed you the book pages from, these are the end caps, or the end caps. These are the fly leaves. And so I think I will use them as the end papers for one of the books, one of the journals that I make. All right, so I think that does it. So I hope that you are excited to come along with me as I create these journals and see what I come up with. I'm going to want one. I know I'm going to want one of these. This one probably, but I won't keep it. Maybe. I don't need another journal, but I love this color. I love this piece of art, and I love music. All right. I'm going to let you go now. Thanks for watching, and come back and see what I do with these journals. Bye-bye.